So the big question is this: how do small businesses like yours, who feel like you're doing all the right things and going to all the right events, reach the federal buyer in a way that helps you win more contracts? That is the question, and this is the place to get your answers. My name is Youll McDonnell. Welcome to the GovCon Chamber of Commerce. Okay, let's get started. In this series, I'm sharing the top 10 steps every small business government contractor should take if you want to be successful in the federal market. I included 2 bonus steps at the end of this series just to round it up to an even dozen. In a minute, I'll walk you through step 2 and discuss your capability statement. I know some people call it your company's resume, but I say it's your company's business card. Hand it out to everyone you meet. First, though, this content is brought to you by the GovCon Chamber of Commerce, the only organization dedicated to the success of all small businesses in the federal space, with members from Guam to the U.S. Virgin Islands and every single state in between. Each year, roughly $125 billion is awarded to small businesses as prime contractors. Our vision is to double that number by helping small businesses truly understand the process for success. Small businesses are the backbone of America. By helping you succeed further in government contracting, we'll be strengthening American communities together. My name is Youll McDonnell, and I've been where you are now. I've been a small business owner for 20 years, building 2 successful firms selling to the federal government. I've won subcontracts with small and large prime contractors. I've won prime contracts with defense and civilian agencies. I've done things right, and I've gotten things wrong. The one thing missing, though, for me then and you now, is an easy-to-follow process that will lead to predictable success. That's my commitment to you. I'll provide the process. If you accept responsibility and don't blame others, you'll find you have the control to shape your future. I put together this roadmap to help you understand the top 10 steps every small business must take as they travel down the road to success in federal government contracting. You can watch a previous video where I briefly introduce each of these steps. In this video, we'll be talking about your capability statement and what you can do to make sure it communicates the right message to your buyers and teaming partners. In this video, I'll be talking about your capability statement. Once you have your small business profile done, creating an effective capability statement will be pretty easy. If you already have one, make sure it's a 6-second capability statement, which means it can be read and understood in 6 seconds. Also, make sure it's designed to be findable by the federal buyers. It does you no good to have it sit on a hard drive and not be seen by anyone. In the next few minutes, I'll talk to you about the purpose of a capability statement, provide some tips that will keep you focused, describe the key sections of a capability statement, and then provide my opinions on how to have the most effective capability statement. There really is only one purpose for a capability statement. It opens the doors to the next meeting. When you hand a capability statement to a small business specialist or anyone else you're trying to meet with, there's only 6 seconds before they decide if you're a fit or not. If you are, then you can move forward in the dialogue. If not, they'll politely dismiss you. Either option is totally fine because you don't want to have meetings with people who aren't buying what you sell. The whole purpose of an elevator pitch is to convince the other person during the trip from the lobby up to their office that you're worth talking to more. You're not selling a product, you're selling yourself, asking the other person to invest their time with you. In government contracting, a capability statement is making that elevator pitch with you. You use your capability statement to get a buyer interested in you. When they ask you to tell them more, then you can use a capability deck or a set of slides that go further into your company's details. The main purpose of a capability statement is to get you into the program office. The program office is where you'll learn about the challenges and goals that your products and solutions can address. Use the capability statement to help the small business specialists or acquisition staff know which office to refer you to for further discussions. In order to deliver your marketing message in 6 seconds, you only need the front side of one piece of paper. In fact, if you make less than $10 million in revenue, you're probably putting too many competencies on your capability statement. Tighten up your message by focusing your core competencies. An easy way to ensure you're creating a 6-second capability statement and to give the reader's eyes a break is to only use font sizes larger than 14 point. Anything smaller, and you're just trying to jam in as many words as you can. The more words you have, the less memorable you'll be to the reader. One tip that was driven home by many small business professionals and contracting officers is to stop with the pretty. You can have a nice looking capability statement, but it distracts when you make it pink so they know you're a woman owned small business. And none of them think you're more patriotic in a business worthy of many contracts if you use flags and pictures of the Capitol building. Make your focus around the core competencies and experience you have. Last thing, and it's my favorite, always, always, always lead with your tags. In writing, that is. If you've been around long enough, you've heard me and others say to lead with your capabilities, not your tags. But that's only when you're talking. Nothing will help you make a bad impression more than to say you're a woman-owned or a veteran-owned company before you've even told them what you do and how it ties to their mission. So never ever say it again. Let your capability statement do that for you instead. Put your HubZone, woman-owned, 8A, and dsbs.sba logos in your top header or banner area. When someone picks up your capability statement, they'll see that instantly. Again, they're not going to just throw contracts your way, but at least now they know your tags, but you're not the one who mentioned them. Let's dive into the 4 main parts of information you need to have on your capability statement, beginning with the basic information. I always recommend you put the words capability statement top center so it's clear what the document is. And right below that title, put your cage code and DUNS number. You want these 2 numbers to be very easy to find. As I mentioned, put your tags up top on one side and your company logo on the other. Put your NAICS codes and contact information in the banner at the bottom. This information isn't most pressing when someone's first picking up your capability statement. If they like what they read, they'll find your contact information in the footer. The next section is your core competencies. This needs to be bullets, not paragraphs. You're just trying to use enough words with as little jargon as possible that a reader can quickly understand what you do and where you might fit in their organization. The biggest problem small businesses have in this area is writing too much. The more you write, the less seriously you're taken. Try to pick one main core competency and then break that down to 3 or 4 sub-competencies. Once a reader sees what you do, they'll want to see where you've done this work. Don't go logo heavy, especially since logos don't help you get found. They just look pretty. Instead, mention the customer's name and a summary project title. Depending on the type of work, you might add something that describes the scope of the project, such as Air Force migration project of 125,000 users. That communicates what you did, where at, and the level or capacity of your support to the company or the agency. Last thing you want to add to your capability statement is your differentiator. I know this is the absolute hardest thing to write. We provide quality service is not a differentiator. Everyone provides quality service. We've done over 50 migrations for a total of 350,000 users. That's a differentiator. Work with your local SBDC and PTAC counselors to write a great differentiator. I've helped thousands of small businesses in the last 4 years and love providing tips for really getting the most from your capability statement. Put hyperlinks everywhere on your capability statement. If you use the service disabled veteran-owned small business logo, then hyperlink it to your VA VIP page so someone can quickly validate that you really are an SDVOSB. Put a link to your DSBS profile on your cage code and DUNS numbers. Put a link to your website on your company logo. If you put a logo for your GSA schedule, then link that to your eBuy page. You get the hint here, right? Anywhere you can put a logo, do so. Anywhere you can put a hyperlink, do so. Don't forget to put an email URL link on your own email address. So when somebody clicks on that, it opens their application. They can send an email right away. It's little things. Make sure you use the properties or metadata section when you save your file. If you do this in Word, you'll have a lot of properties such as categories, tags, subject, title, description, etc. When you save to a PDF, most of those metadata will be transferred. but check and add more inside a PDF using Adobe Acrobat. The reason this is so valuable is that when you send someone an electronic copy of your capability statement and they store it in a hard drive on their computer or the network, it'll be found when someone searches. I've made tens of millions of dollars helping the government manage documents like these and improve their own search. You want to make sure that if they're searching, you can be found. Another great use for properties is to add extra NAICS codes. On the capability statement, I only add 6 or 8 codes, and then I put the rest in the property section. Search doesn't care if it finds it in the body or the property, but if it's in the properties portion, then your capability statement will rise to the top of the list. When you have a good capability statement, get as much feedback as you can from small business specialists. These are the people who will use it they'll use it the most and decide if it's worth forwarding on to their program offices. When you get feedback, make the changes and let them know you did that. Either way, thank them later for their advice. My last suggestion is to have all willing staff members add the capability statement to their experience section within LinkedIn. Of course, you want to have a write-up that they can use in the experience description field, but LinkedIn allows them to attach a file as well. It takes 2 seconds, but imagine if you had 50 folks working for you and they're connecting with government peers. Simple little step can add a lot of marketing attention to your company. Before you do anything else, take 15 minutes and review your capability statement against the suggestions I just made. Feel free to send me your capability statement and ask for my feedback. If you found this content valuable, others will too. Please give it a thumbs up so they can find it. If you'd like to connect with me personally, do so on LinkedIn, and then sign up for the GovCon Chamber's email list to be notified about free training webinars and interviews with federal buyers we do at www.govconchamber.com. Finally, please consider becoming a sustaining member of the GovCon Chamber of Commerce. Help us pave the way for $1 a day. I'm Neil McDonnell, wishing you great success.